and I'm going to kicking off by putting you right on the spot. What is the metaverse?
It's pretty simple.
Oh, good.
There are a few trends that are converging into one, and that's bringing this idea of the metaverse. We think it's this idea where your digital life is equal or overtakes your quote-unquote analog life, as you mentioned.
Yeah, a lot of people have referred to it as this space of connected virtual worlds. You may have heard it put that way commonly. I think that's pretty accurate, but it's also limiting in this idea that different mediums we operate in the future won't necessarily be a virtual world, but it'll still be connected to everything. So in some ways, it's an iteration on the internet, right? An internet gone 3D, an internet prioritizing blockchain technology, right? Different new forms of connectivity built atop the underlying internet. And so something else that I think about is like online, a lot of people talk about DTC, this direct to consumer. But now we're moving towards DTA, which would be direct to avatar.
I learned that yesterday at the rehearsal. DTA.
Yeah. So and the real message underlying that is that everything you're familiar with offline, your communities, how you engage with brands, how you engage with each other, can be mapped online and then innovated on and reinvented per se. And I don't mean like, oh, let's go build a brand, a box store in a virtual world, right? I mean, let's say, what does it mean to be an owner of a brand and to have it as a part of your identity on your avatar on the go, right? Because we don't need to walk into a box store in the metaverse to enjoy the metaverse. So it's more about the avatar than it is a consumer. And it's more about the fan and the community.
Remember that avatar thought. So how do you pitch your company? You went straight into metaverse, but Offbeat. Why are you on stage? What do you do, guys?
Yeah, we're a digital media company focused on taking what is most current and innovative that might be niche or gimmicky, but actually making it relevant to the mainstream, which is, I think, everyone's appeal, right? Like, how do you do what's next? How do you do what's innovative, but in a safe and actually widely applicable way? I see so many cool technologies in my line of work that I go, oh, that would make a great LinkedIn post. Like, that would look cool to show to a friend. But is that something I'm going to check on every day? So a lot of what we do is centered around taking this idea of connectedness to culture and innovation and making it appeal to the masses, but then also giving you, brands an on-ramp into that experience. So we're really focused on owned IP, a lot of owned media properties that we create, from virtual influencers to episodic short-form shows on like Snapchat and TikTok. And so by creating owned media, we're really mentally in touch, right? And a lot of people on our team are very connected to culture in this way. And then we also open the door to brands to join us in that mission.
I think the starting point from Offbeat is our team are actively in the space. So long before it becomes a commercial opportunity, they're creating these communities, they're engaging their audiences, and that then gives brands the sort of peace of mind that it's safe to enter that space because there's evidence of it being done before on a smaller scale.
Exactly. It's exciting to be able to take something that's entirely new and say, what would happen if we made sure 1 million people saw this? We come from the meme world, actually. 8 years ago, we were building meme pages on social media, right? Gaining millions of followers, posting memes. Then we moved to selling memes, right? We would work with brands as we would take your brand, we would put our creative team on making it into a funny concept, and then we would go to our partners in the meme world and deliver millions of impressions on behalf of your brand in the form of a meme on Instagram as a real business model that kicked off our company. And now we're following that in cadence into the future, into virtual reality, and building now influencers using virtual technology fully, like entirely built influencers using computer-generated imagery, using game technology, taking the avatar and taking it as far as the influencer. And some of you may have heard of various implementations of this, but we've built a guy named Zero that we're very excited about. Yeah.
Have anyone heard about Zero in this room?
Zero from Nexus. Red hair, spiky? No? Oh, we got a head nod.
Oh, one hand up.
Yeah.
But why don't we just call Zero up?
I think we should call Zero if we can.
Yeah. He's your friend, so you can call him up.
Yeah, we can give him a call, see if he'll come in.
Cool.
Let's see.
Hey, Zero.
Hey, Zero, you there?
Zero. This was awkward.
Hey.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, there we go. I was figuring out how the mute button works on Zoom. I got it. How's everybody doing? What's up?
We're great. We're great. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, guys. I love this view. I can see people. I can see the back of your head for where I'm looking, but the backs of your heads, folks. Today. I just want to say, and Christopher, great haircut.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah, Zero. So we've got a lot of very interested people here who want to learn about the metaverse, want to learn about the future and virtual reality and like how these things apply. And I'm hoping maybe we could look around your bunker today, get to know you a bit. So maybe how about we start? You just introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your hobbies and whatnot. What do you do in this bunker?
Yeah, okay, great. So we'll start right at the beginning. My name is Zero. I'm a cyborg, and I live here in this bunker in the Nexus universe. And I know this because I've been studying since I've woken up here in February. I woke up about 3 months ago. It's been a couple months now. But I woke up in February on the floor back there in the bunker, which we'll see a little bit later. I woke up, and I had no idea where I was. This place was not familiar to me. And even my body had changed. For example, I didn't always have a cyborg hand that I can remember. But yeah, so I woke up and I was like, wow, what am I doing here? And I started looking around the bunker to try to find clues about why I'm here or who I was before I got here. And that's what I spent a lot of my time doing in the beginning. And as I got to learn about the bunker, I learned that I was connected to the internet. Here is my computer setup where I live stream from and I make content from. It was connected to social media. So I got really into Twitter and Instagram, and I learned about TikTok. So I started making content, and through that I started learning, hey, maybe there's more out there that I can learn about while I'm trying to figure out my own stuff here. So I'm basically just a virtual cyborg trying to learn more about humans and make connections from my bunker.
Awesome, man. Maybe you could show us more of the bunker. I understand there's a portal back there or something, right? Could you maybe take us over there?
Yeah, let's go check out the portal. Yeah, we can go stand there. So this is my portal. I've been tinkering with it since I got here. I've been spending a lot of time. So here it is in all of its glory. I woke up right in front of those steps over there. And since I woke up here, this is obviously the biggest thing in the room, I knew that it was super important. When I was tinkering with it, that's where I got the ability to teleport. A fun fact, I was like in the innards and it shocked me, and then I learned how I could teleport around, but I can't get out of the bunker. I tried, trust me, I have a hard head. But while I was tinkering with it, I learned that things can come in and out of it too. Well, I haven't thrown anything in yet, but I've gotten objects out, and I've even received NFTs that have come through my portal in previous times.
So out of interest, Zero, have you had any branded products or anything physical come through the portal?
Yeah, I've had, like I said, NFTs come through. I had a phone come through at one time. That's how I take my selfies. And I've had a couple things come through. I'm really looking forward to what comes through, in the near future. Hopefully, I need some new things to play with.
Awesome, Zero. Sophie, do you have any questions?
I just wonder about that haircut.
Oh, you're about the hair. Yeah, I have a very regimented routine where I wake up in the morning. Actually, we go to my bedroom. I can kind of reenact how I get my hair to look so good. So yeah, this is my bedroom. So I wake up, I roll out of bed, I walk over, and while I'm staring at my beautiful disco ball, I just give my hair a pep talk in the morning. I say, look, we gotta look really good because we have to make a good first impression on social media for whatever we're doing for the day. And it cooperates pretty well.
Yeah, Zero. So you're living in this bunker. You say you can't get out. You have a portal. It can interface with the real world. It's a pretty wonderful life. But what else do you like about living in a virtual world? Like, what do you value about a virtual space or the metaverse?
One, it's eye-catching, right? So when I'm on, I spend time on Omegle. I don't know if anybody's ever used it, but it's a website where you can kind of chat with strangers on the internet. One, it's eye-catching, right? So for all those folks that pass me on the internet, they usually stop and at least give me a couple seconds to meet new people. So I think that the eye-catching aspect of it is really great, but it also gives me the ability to do a bunch of different types of things. So let's go there, and I'll talk about something I do in there.
Sweet.
So for example, I have different rooms. So I have a bedroom back there where obviously I sleep, so I can look good for stream. But I also have different areas around, like the movie theater here, where I have this huge screen. And when I first got here, I won't lie, I spent a lot of time watching streaming services like Netflix and getting addicted to new shows and such. But I started interviewing people on Twitch. So on Twitch, for example, I met a musician who's on Spotify, and I had the opportunity to interview him live with my audience, and they got to learn about how music was made. If you had an interest in streaming on Spotify, you talk to the audience about that. The being in the bunker gives me the opportunity to showcase different people, and not just myself.
Yeah, the cool thing that you have there is the internet connection, right?
Exactly.
You've spoken with people live. You'll go on Omegle and talk to new people. I understand there was also, what happened? Did someone roll a TV out onto a popular walkway?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what was this?
I made it out. I had some friends take a TV out. There's this place in Atlanta called the Beltline, and they took a TV out with a webcam so that I could see the Beltline, and I was able to talk to the people on the Beltline. So people would be running by and say, hey, come over here. And they would come over, and I got to talk. Our neighbors were actually running a charity, so I got to learn about a different charity, and they got to learn about me. So that was a really, really cool opportunity. But I've been at a bunch of different physical places, just in the past month. I've been to London, I've been to OMR, I was at VidCon. I've been to a lot of different places, and that's why I like to do things like this, because I get to meet so many different people.
Yeah,
Jealous. You went to Cannes, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was at Cannes, yeah.
And
It's cool.
how do you stay in touch with the people you meet? How do you keep in contact with them?
Yeah, because I'm so connected on social media, because I'm on every platform really, I spend a lot of time in comments. So if I post a video on YouTube, I'm always responding to comments on my Instagram posts, my YouTube. Twitch is a great place where people can engage with me one-on-one and just get to ask me questions because it's a live platform. So they get to type in chat and I get to answer. So it's more one-on-one and personal when you're on Twitch. And DMs, and I'm also on this platform called Discord, so it's like a chat room where all my audience is there, and we talk about new video games that are coming out, or they share fan art, or we just share memes back and forth. Yeah, I'm communicating through a whole bunch of different platforms.
And just for the audience, to make them a little bit more jealous, how big is your audience now? You've been around since February. Like, how large have you in that audience?
Oh yeah, I'm around that 200,000 follower mark, more than that now, I think, across everything, from Instagram to Snapchat and YouTube and Twitch. Since February. Yeah, oh man, time flies, but it hasn't been too long.
So Zero, I think Michael and I could ask you tens of questions. We talk to you all the time. But I think it would be a fun experiment.
Indeed.
If perhaps we took some questions from the audience and you got to meet even more people and stay in touch with them.
Because this is, of course, not pre-recorded.
Awesome, let's do it. Yeah. So does anyone here have any questions for Zero? Anything goes. If it's too much over Zero's head, then Michael and I can answer those questions. But yeah, anything that you would like to ask Zero, let's have at it.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
Exactly.
We have a question.
Hey Sarah, how do you like, or what is your favorite part about living in the metaverse?
What is my favorite part about, what was the last bit of your question?
Living in the metaverse.
Oh, living in the metaverse. One, I can throw on cool shades like this. That's a really cool part of the metaverse. But what's really, really cool is like the infinite amount of things, or like seamlessly infinite amount of things that I can do and create, which is a lot of fun for me, especially when you start collaborating with different projects and people and learning how to bring those things into my world. Those are my favorite things about the metaverse right now.
Awesome. Next question. I have one over here.
Hi, Zero. Have you ever met another cyborg, or would you like to?
Ooh. I met a nice lady on the Beltline when she was jogging. She has titanium in her arm. That's the closest thing to a cyborg I've met. But I would love to meet somebody maybe with like the full-on arm or leg, or maybe like a cool neck piece would be cool.
Ooh. Another question. Right here. 1 second.
The mic guy is running so fast.
Hi, Zero. What sort of things do you create typically in the metaverse?
Ooh, what do I create in the metaverse? Well, me personally, I like to say I create content, right? So I make videos. I make videos for social media like Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. And then a less like tangible one is like I'm really making connections, right? It sounds corny, but I am because I'm in one spot, so I have like so much time to really like take social media in and learn what people are talking about, and then like have conversation with people. So I think I'm making content and connections along the way. Those are just two examples. Yeah.
Zero, I have a challenging question for you, then we'll keep asking questions. You said you're making connections, but you're this avatar figure. I'm curious if you have any thoughts on why you're capable of making a connection with someone when you're fundamentally virtual.
I think it takes off the pressure. One, because I look different, I think it takes off the pressure. I found that on Omegle, especially when I'm meeting with, and it's not just like younger people, it's like people of all ages. Once they realize I'm not a robot, right? They think I'm an AI or something. But once I make them laugh, usually that's how I break through. They kind of like let their guard down, and they're almost more vulnerable. Maybe because they don't think I have friends, you know, like I'm not going to go gossip behind their back at a restaurant. So I think that's something that really, people really do let their guard down. When I ask people about their day, I think I get more honest answers than I've seen, you know, in general. People like, oh man, yeah, I'm really going through it. And they tell me their stories. So I think that, yeah, it just helps people like, once they get comfortable with me, they let their guard down and we get to know each other, yeah.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's not about what you look like, but it's about the conversations you have, how you make them feel. Yeah, and it's true, it shines through. Are there any other questions? Yeah, we have one right here.
Yeah.
Hey, have you ever been in love?
Have I been in love? Oh my goodness. That is such a deep, deep question. I have been in love with, well, again, it's gonna sound really corny, but I fell in love with making content and sharing. It sounds bad, like it does, it sounds really corny, right? But I love it, like that is, when people talk about their significant others and like, oh, I'm married to the love of my life, I feel like that with what I'm doing, which sounds really corny. But with a person, no, I haven't found the right one. So if you can lead me to any, you know, so everybody's looking, you know, we can chat, I suppose. But I have to go on a first date. You know, I haven't been on a date or any of the stuff. I'm kind of here.
I thought you went on a date with an influencer.
I did. I've been on a couple of like test dates, if you will. Yeah.
Didn't go so well.
But you're still single.
But I'm single. I say I'm married to my content.
Zero needs his one, I guess.
So
I do.
have you seen any avatars that you like the look of? Or how do you compare to other avatars out there?
How do I compare? Well, so I do watch like a ton of content. I've been watching people like me across like Twitch and YouTube for a while now. I never really draw direct parallels because in my opinion, every influencer is so unique to like what they're doing. You know, you have so many different avatars out there that have different lanes. So I really just like look at how they build their community, and it's such a unique, nuanced way of doing things that you can't copy anybody. And so that's kind of what lowers it. I don't have to compare myself, which is great. I think that every virtual you see out there doing something, you can learn something from, and you can incorporate it into the way that I, for example, I build into my community. And I think that's the beauty of all of us doing our own things. But yeah, I hope to collaborate more. That'd be really cool, like doing some more crossover stuff with people.
And I think the Bambuser team are definitely thinking this. How do you think you do at live video shopping?
How do I think I think I crush it, if I can say so. Maybe not me singing so much, but I think selling products on a lot, like, because Twitch is like probably one of my favorite platforms in terms of like just interaction, merging that with just selling a product and having it there and being able to reference it, I think it's just, you know, a great couple. You know, that's like a dynamic duo right there.
Yeah, and if you don't know what Twitch is, it's that live streaming gaming platform for chatting and connecting with influencers in real time. And Zero spends a lot of time on Twitch connecting with his fans directly. And he can easily do the same through live shopping. Yeah. Let's ask more questions. I think that's fun. Any others? Yes, hey.
Hi, Zero. You mentioned singing. What kind of music do you play in the bunker?
What kind of music do I play in the bunker? I'm a fan of, oh my gosh, what was I listening to? That Brandy, You're a Fine Girl song was literally just playing before I got in here. I love that. Come and Get Your Love. I like the classics, the oldies, I guess you would call them, depending on who you ask. But I also listen to like indie and punk. I have a very weird range of music taste. Country on a weird mood day, you know, maybe like a rainy Sunday afternoon, I'll listen to some country.
How do you know it's rainy and how do you know it's Sunday?
I go on, I have a random weather generator website that I just go on. So it's like a window that you can have a scene for. Like, yeah. I figured that out because I don't have any windows.
Rainy mood, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
More questions, maybe.
Yeah, these are great
here's
questions.
one.
I love it.
Yeah.
What are your goals?
Ooh, what are my
Love
goals?
a good question.
I love goal questions. Well, one of my first goals is if you know anybody in the audience can hook a guy up with some new duds, some new clothes, you know, that'd be cool. If I could like change my wardrobe around. But two, my main goals are to continue building these connections. These, you know, I'm not trying to get like. Of course, we want like 1 million connections, but I'm trying to make sure that people, one, know I'm not an AI. Like I'm not a robot. I'm a virtual cyborg that can talk and has feelings, and I want to get that point across. And then my second goal is to keep exploring like the different types of things I can create, and the different things that I can bring into my world to help me create better and cooler things and more interesting things.
That's a great answer, Zero. Yeah, another question.
Is there for any avatar a physical person behind, or there is some avatars without?
Zero, are you a person?
Oh yeah, I'm real as can be. I mean, I cried at the end of Marley and Me the other night. So I definitely am a person. If when people ask, I mean, technically I'm a cyborg, but yeah, I have feelings, so I'm definitely a person.
He's a human person. Yep.
I'm a human guy.
And I think the end to the question was: are there avatars that are just purely AI as well?
Might be over Zero's head. There are AI-powered avatars. Zero doesn't know he's actually AI, but no.
I can pass a CAPTCHA. That's all I'm saying.
No, yeah, there are AI-powered avatars, but they're extremely limited by the scope of AI, which is that it's not that engaging at a commercial level. It falls apart after like 10 messages, and it doesn't operate at this in a live real time. But I've seen some people taking their attempts at it. There's just not AI influence. The last one I knew that got famous was Tay from Microsoft, and I think a lot of us know how that went. She just became incredibly off the rails, and they had to shut her down. So, yeah.
Did you know her?
No. I play within the rules of my box. I don't go off the rails unless I'm on a Twitch stream and my audience kind of encourages me to. I'm relatively well behaved, so I don't want to get shut down.
No, it's not a risk. No worries. Anyone else with more questions? Oh, yes.
All right, so besides making connections with your audience,
Yeah.
how do you improve total watch time and engagement within your live streams?
Ooh, that is a great question. You're asking the really deep questions that I like to get into. It's about like the programming, right? Some Twitch streamers, when they go live, they just say, all right, I'm going to play a video game today. And then they go and they blindly stream. For me, when I live stream, I like to have like little beats that I hit within the stream to make sure that my audience is like, there's always something that they're either working towards or they feel like they're part of a journey. So a really good example is I played the Stanley Parable. It's a video game that's on Steam, and it's a decision-based game. And I played that because I could get the audience to engage, right? They got to pick the choices that we made. And then it depends on the platform, right? So that's just Twitch. But if you're working on other platforms, it's all about pacing. So I start with like a cold open, I like hook people in, and then you always keep people guessing it, like what's gonna go. So like a lot of cuts, a lot of fast cuts. You got to keep people watching the video, especially now with things like TikTok being super short. You have to keep their attention in super short intervals. So yeah, I do like a lot of punch-ins, pop-up text, or little cheat codes you could use.
Yeah, I want to add to that. What you're describing are these like gimmicks and like engagement hacks, but you do enough of those that they build an affinity and they start to check in not because of the engagement hacks or the glance value, they check in because of the emotional connection, but the gimmicks and the engagement hacks continue to entertain those individuals, right? Just like gaming is, it's, you know, Fortnite is drop based, you know, you do one game, get killed, jump again, go again, and that's why it works. It's very gimmicky, and then there's a skin, a dance, a colorful change. All this stuff is operating in the gaming industry very heavily, so we do the same. And we haven't shown it all here. You know, you saw the teleporting, it's very cool. You saw the streams coming through screens, you know, that's pretty cool too. We also have Droney, who's a Droney bot who will fly around in his space and read chat off. So if you subscribe, you can type a message and Droney will read it off in the bunker. And like this drone bot will read off messages that fans are typing in, so it keeps them engaged. Oh, hi, Droney, how's it going?
Yeah, Droney just wanted to pop by. His voice is a little sore today.
Yeah.
He's here, he's hanging out.
Awesome. Yep, goodbye, Droney. Okay, so, but then, you know, creating experiences like these on top of the base experience is so important, right? Not to humble brag, but we also built a virtual reality campus for our company internally. And the first version that I saw from the map developer was just map. It was just objects. And I was in there with them. I'm like, okay, this is great, but for this to be final, I need like 10 things we can do together, right? So they went and they added beer pong, they added chess, they added markers, they added tic-tac-toe. They added all of these interactions that now when we go in that space together as a team, we're actually entertained, we're actually doing things. Same goes, if this was just bunker and zero, it would be cool, but now we're adding different elements on top of it so that's this captivating experience, it's a custom experience. He can also use a selfie camera, we're not gonna test it out on this one, but he can control a camera with his hand, he can use a cell phone and take a selfie from the metaverse. We've done that. You can find it online. He took a selfie with human hosts. And so there's so many things that we can do that are custom that just add to the whole experience.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Does he need to sleep, or could he like stream for an entire week in a row?
Oh, no, please don't. Yeah, no, I need sleep.
Okay.
That's why I never talk about marathons. I like sleeping. I really do like sleeping. That's how I rekindle my ideas, you know?
I was just trying to find you a couple of gigs here, okay?
But I will stream as long as is needed, of course. We will make it, yeah. No, I think the longest I've gone, not like on stream, but I think I could do like 36 hours before I start getting cranky.
Oh gosh, we won't do that. But yeah, Zero does need to clear his cache and recharge like a human might.
Do we have any other questions from the audience to Zero?
Anything. Yeah, there's one back here and another over here.
I love the questions, guys.
Yeah.
Can you visit Zero in like with a VR headset or something?
Oh,
in your bunker?
I haven't found a VR headset in my bunker yet. But there are certain VR apps, like VR Chat, for example, that I can just go onto my computer and join if I want to. So I still have access to it, but I don't have the headset quite yet.
Yeah, we could host a meetup.
But can we join you via VR? Can we come in your bunker?
So I can answer this one, Zero. Zero's experience is extremely high quality, as you see, right? The VR experience is limited by the hardware of the headset. The hardware we're using here is very beefy. You know, it's actually coming out of Atlanta, Georgia right now, which is where we're based, which is so cool. You know, we can stream in from anywhere, right? But the hardware of the headset is greatly limited. So we could host a meetup, but he wouldn't look like he had a good night's sleep, I think, like he does right now. Yeah, but yeah, you could meet up with him. He would just look a little different. Yeah. I saw a question over here.
Yes.
I'm going to ask, this is extremely ignorant and
anything goes.
naive. Is there a man behind a curtain somewhere?
No.
I'm just trying to understand this. I'm trying to grasp what this is, and I'm a little slow.
He's not here. He's not in this room. He's not within hundreds of miles of us. Like I said, this is streamed in. We sent him to Cannes. We sent him to LA in the same week. He was in LA and he was in Paris 2 days apart because of the ability to send him anywhere. He was supposed to be in NFT NYC but there was a blocker there, right? So 3 days in a row, he could have been in multiple time zones. He can be in multiple time zones. Do you know the secret of Marshmallow, the artist, right? The guy with the bucket helmet, right? There are like 7 marshmallows. If you just look at his schedule, he's all over the world, sometimes twice in 2 locations on the same night, right? How do they do that? And so that's what we're kind of touching on with the virtual opportunity as well, is this ability to be in multiple places at a moment's notice, right? So Zero could turn off from here and then turn on in Dubai literally in 10 minutes, right? That is a lot of power there, but it's streaming in from a man behind a curtain somewhere, yeah. Yes.
So the answer is there's a positively charming young man behind the positively charming Zero.
His name is Zero, yes.
Mm-hmm. And thank you for the compliment. I do think I'm charming. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Open to more questions. We have the time.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, he likes to. You like to talk, Zero. No question
I love
about it.
talking. I'll talk your ear off.
Give him
all
a
day
friend
about-
in there.
Yeah, we're working on it, actually.
You mentioned that you would be interested in new gear. If we wanna send you something, how can we send you products?
Yeah.
For you to wear a custom outfit.
That's a good question. Well, on my end, and Christopher might be able to pick up the second half of the question.
Okay, yeah.
I have a portal here where things have come into my bunker before, so I do know that has happened. But outside of that, Christopher might know some science or stuff
Michael.
behind that.
I mean,
Michael.
On the commercial side, there might be
Let's
a
go.
access fee to access the portal, but yes, we're able to take a real-world product and make it digital, and Zero can play with it, use it, wear it.
All those objects in his space were made, right? You know, the plants, the tech, the screens, the wires, the lights, all of it. And so any other object, as we were talking about the value of the metaverse, is this idea that it can be brought into a virtual space and then innovated on, right? So I would hate to see that we just give him an outfit and call it a day, right? I would love to see that we give him an outfit, it floats in gloriously through the portal, maybe even comes up behind Zero while he's streaming and scares him, right? You know, it can do stuff like that, and that's the glory of it. And then it's just more freedom in these experiences. But yeah, we would use the portal because in our lore, that is the connection to reality. It will also be his connection to his companion, One, who is coming soon. Yeah.
This is where Zero's looking over his shoulder to see there's nothing scaring him.
Right. Now I'm going to be peeking around the corner. I mean, unless a scary vacuum wants to appear, because I got some dust in the corner. So maybe if a vacuum appeared, that wouldn't scare me. I'd be pretty happy.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
I was just offering a Dyson vacuum cleaner to help out with that. So.
There we go.
Let's go. Yeah. Well,
Maybe-
Droney, my bot, can't vacuum, but I can. So I need to get in the hard-to-reach places.
We'll get Droney a Dyson extension.
One needs a hairdryer.
Yeah. Any more questions? Any more thoughts? Yeah, a question here.
Can we see your home from your perspective?
You want to see my home from my perspective? Let me take a seat at my computer desk and I can show you. How about that?
Cool, let's do it.
All right.
Oh no. Goodbye, Zero. It's nice knowing
The hair remains.
Yeah, so Zero's.
There we go. Yeah, I know. I like to make people think I left so I can hear if they're going to say anything. But yeah, so this is a little bit about my world. So this is where I stream from. So this is kind of my world. But I have this other view where you can see my whole setup. And here it is. So this is my world. If you were going to be a day in the life streaming with Zero or making content, this is where we would be. All over social media. And this is what this is my world right here. And then if you want to see more of it, I mean, just check out my social media. I mean, the Instagram's really cool.
Hey, this is not a commercial for Zero, is it?
Right. No, never. Not a commercial. But yeah, no, I mean, here we are. This is where we're at. And I get to do a lot of cool stuff from here. And I have so many different ways to do it. This is just Twitter. And this is my other channel stuff. But yeah, so you can see everything, and my stream gets to see that too. My fans, when I'm in Discord, I can share my screen with them. So that's how we share memes and talk about a whole bunch of different things that are going on.
Awesome, Zero. Thanks for showing us that. Yeah. I will say technically as well. Zero, do you have your headphones handy?
Yeah, let me get those on there. Let me see here. They're down here. There we go.
Okay. All right. So technically, we could place a camera on Zero's face and offer that eye perspective. So he could look around and we could actually see in the virtual environment. And how that's occurring is for every physical object that we want to track in reality, we're setting a virtual camera in place. And so for instance, Zero's hand, we have a virtual camera set to his hand. And so we pretend that it's his cell phone. So what he's really doing is standing there with his flat hand spinning around in circles. And you just see a virtual camera coming towards his 3D body. And so we can do a lot of stuff like, imagine we took that camera now and put it right square on his forehead, you would see what he sees. Okay, hey, Zero, you can maybe take those off.
So,
there we go. Oh, that was a good song.
I would say you're awesome, Zero. I think we've had a great time.
Yeah, I had such a great time. This was awesome.
Let us wrap with one final question.
Yeah.
So I got stuck on the incredible products that are Dyson. And Zero, what if the Dyson team offered you to style your hair with their air wrap? Is that something that we could do?
They have the vacuum for my hair? That sounds incredible. I have not heard of such a thing before. That'd be cool. That'd be really neat. I didn't know they had vacuums for hair. Have you used it?
Have you?
Well, yeah, this morning.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, I mean, hey, it looks like you still have your hair, so I'm down to try it.
This is great. Thank you so much, Zero.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Zero.
enjoyed having you in New York.
Zero, I'll see you back in Atlanta. Hope you have a good day, all right?
See you later, gang. Thank you so much.
Zero.
See you, Zero.
So I guess what we were hoping to achieve here is to have you understand that the metaverse is something that's already here, and that you can already start thinking outside of the box and how this can kind of tie into various creative, commercial, fun strategies. You will be around, so do speak with Michael and Christopher if you have more questions. So thank you so much for being on stage. Thank you for bringing your friend all the way from Atlanta here. And I'm pretty sure you will have a lot of conversations tonight.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay.